the economy, for instance, auto insurance.
Oh, yeah, we can take this one off.
Yeah, auto repair, I mean, it's just.
Values of
we can take,
vehicles.
yes.
A lot of them.
I said something about it.
Okay, okay. That makes sense.
Obsolete or redundant, I mean,
Right.
my son's
Big
insurance,
thing I had to find out,
$300 a month
first
to
told.
drive a
I'll go
2010.
with sewer, that's going where.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Thing ain't worth 36
I know,
months.
I know.
Oh, no, that's.
It goes on the ground.
Yeah.
If all else fails.
Well, where's the 500? Oh, no, that's, we'll find
You
out.
think it'll come back down?
Anyway, it turned out that was a GM program.
Nothing else is
It
coming.
doesn't, it never seems to, does it? Yeah, here, it's gonna change. It doesn't-
We're doing,
Yeah,
we're doing
that
a
quick
semi.
trip to the grocery store that used to cost 50, it's 100 now.
Every time.
That's
I
probably
don't
all.
think I've been to it. It was less
This
than
is not an issue.
And if you, and God forbid, you
No,
live
there's
by
not,
me.
there's not money missing. There's no assets. We carry assets on the books, one missing.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. The regular meeting scheduled September 20, 2024 at 1 p.m. Ms. Gwen Flowers Taylor is going to lead off with the invocation, followed by Mr. Morrow with the pledge to the flag.
If you will join me in bowing your heads. Lord, today we offer a moment of silence and relief for those families and those victims of the gun violence in this community and other communities across our country. We ask you to be with us in this meeting today, protect us from any harm or danger, and allow us to successfully take care of the business of the Water Authority. These things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the agenda.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor? Please raise your hand. Unanimous. 8. Citizen comments. Ms. Finney's not here. I'm gonna skip over the citizen comments.
Sorry.
Consider approval of the August 21st, 2024 regular scheduled meeting minutes and executive session minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve them as presented unless somebody has a correction.
We got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A second. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Unanimous, 7-0. Next item, consider acceptance of the September 11th, 2024 joint committee meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the minutes.
We got a
Second.
motion, do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Davis. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Unanimous. Next item, special committee report. We're going to turn the meeting over to Mr. Morrow for the planning committee report, and then Mr. Davis for the finance committee report.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we had a very fine joint planning committee meeting, and I will say that Mr. Johnson provided us a project update on the sewer implementation, which I thought was impressive, moving forward well. And we also agreed, as the planning committee, should move ahead with approval of the project on the Heron Bay valve replacement. We recommend that project move forward, and that we also recommend that the SDS water service area map revision be recommended for approval. So we have a consensus on all the items above.
All right, Mr. Davis?
Our issue was not to exceed $100,000 on the PRV.
Y'all recommend not exceeding that?
That's right.
All right, moving on to the financial report. Presentation of the fiscal year 23 audit. Deputy County Manager of Administration, Ms. Erica Ty.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
In your package for the FY23 audit, you should have 3 different reports. The statement of net position, also the statement of revenue, expenses, and changes in net position, and then last, the change in net position worksheets. I would like to just go over briefly of these statements for you. Malden and Jenkins has issued a unmodified or clean opinion for the Spalding County Water Authority for fiscal year 2023. The respective financial statements are considered to present fairly the financial position and results of operations as of and for the year ended. On the first sheet, the statement of net position is just a snapshot of the organization's financial conditions at the end of the fiscal year. If you'll notice, total current assets are $18,748,647. Non-current assets are $22,330,031, which equals total assets of $41,078,678. And the next columns, you'll see the liabilities. The current liabilities for FY23 were $1.3 million. Non-current or long-term liabilities were $5.6 million, for a total of $6.9 million. And the very last, at the bottom of the page, the total net position, you'll see the unrestricted net position, which is the portion that can be used for all general purposes, is a total of $18.4 million. When you see a healthy increase in the net position, it indicates a strong financial management and long-term sustainability in the Water Authority. If you move on to the next slide, which is the statement of revenue, expenses, and changes in net position, this financial report summarizes the authority's financial performance over the fiscal year. This statement is part of the financial audit and follows government entities. In the first section, you'll see the operating revenues. This section captures the income generated from the authority's core activities, primarily water sales and related services, which is a total of $9.7 million. Operating expenses, these are costs that are incurred by the Water Authority in delivering its services, are $8.5 million, which comes to a total of operating income of $1.2 million, which is simply the revenue minus the expenses. The non-operating revenue and expenses is a negative $1.086 million. These revenues and expenses are not directly related to the core water service operations, but are important for the overall financial health. Non-operating revenues and expenses help to bolster the financial stability of the Water Authority, while interest expenses can provide insight into the level of debt. And at the bottom of the page, the change in the net position. A positive change in net position suggests that the Water Authority's financial condition has improved during the fiscal year of $611,334. The beginning of year and end of year net position is similar to the equity in a business and represents the total assets minus the liabilities at a specific point in time. So the end of year net position is $34,143,046. And lastly, for the audit review, we'll look at the statement of cash flows. On the first section is the cash flows from the operating activities. This section reflects the cash inflows and outflows related to your day-to-day operations of the Water Authority. The net cash from the operating activities show how much cash is available from core operations after paying for expenses, which is a total of $3,050,747. In the next section, you'll see the cash flows from capital and related financing activities. This section highlights cash flows related to acquiring, constructing, or financing long-term assets such as water infrastructure. And this is a negative $1.6 million. This section also shows how the authority is financing its long-term assets and infrastructure projects. In the next section, you'll see the cash flows from investing activities. This section shows the cash flows from investments made by the Water Authority, which shows a net increase in cash of $1.4 million. And at the bottom of the page, you'll see the reconciliation. The statement ends with the reconciliation of the cash balance at the beginning and the end of the fiscal year to ensure the clarity on where the Water Authority stands financially in terms of liquid cash reserves with net cash provided by operating activities that resulted from the revenue producing activities of $3,050,747. The FY23 audit for the Spalding County Water Authority demonstrates how well the authority has managed its cash flow, funded its operations and capital projects, and met its debt obligations. I would be happy to try and answer any of your questions you may have.
Thank you for your presentation.
May I make a comment?
Sure.
When I sit on these boards and we get a clean opinion like this, with no problems, I want to thank you, our accounting support staff and our own staff for making that possible, because not having any glitches or issues is very reassuring, so thank you all.
Thank you, Joseph.
I have a couple of questions,
I figured.
if you don't mind. One's a niggling little thing, but can you explain to me what compensated absence payables are, Erica?
On the statement of net position,
Yep. It's only $8,000, but I've never seen that term before.
compensated absences is for personnel expenses that we use as far as for accrued vacation and sick time.
Okay. That's what that is.
Yes, sir.
Under the statement of cash flows, which is the last page, what capital assets were disposed of $1 million? Do you know?
I think that was the sewer that we turned over to the city, that piece of.
That was the treatment plant?
No, the pipe.
It could be the treatment plant that we actually removed from the books.
It was on the book,
I
it
would
was on
have
the
to
book
look
for $1
in-
million? It was on the books for $1 million?
Joseph, wasn't it close to $1 million for that plant decommission?
I think it's more than that.
The project ended up coming in below $800,000, but it could have been, I know we decommissioned, we gave over the sewer outfall to the city to the tune of almost 1.2 million, and then we decommissioned the plant last year, so it could be a blend of both.
Okay.
But those
I
are
can
the
look
only-
at the detail, Cal, and get back to you or send the information to Joseph for you.
I'm curious as to what, that's a fairly large capital asset to dispose of. so I
Yes,
just
sir.
wondered what it- Is there a P&L sheet available that lists capital assets, Erica?
In the actual audit, no, sir, there is not, but I can provide one and give it to
I'm sure we
Joseph.
have one someplace.
Yes,
I'm sure
sir.
Joseph has one.
For what fiscal year? Are you pertaining to 23?
Current fiscal year. yeah.
Okay, for 24. Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to accept?
Item number 2, I move we accept the report.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Unanimous, 7-0. All right, we're on the general manager's report, correct?
No, the financials.
We just approved it, item number 2.
Have the financial statements as of August 31st.
Oh, a different report.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Consider acceptance of the financial report as presented by Deputy County Manager of Administration, Erica Dyke.
This one will be brief, I promise. For the month ending on August 31st, 2024, the Water Authority revenues amounted to $1,525,228, while expenses totaled $1,494,426. The total excess of revenue as of August 31st is $37,987. The financial account balances as of August 31st, the cash account for the Water Authority is $3.6 million. For both the money market investment accounts with United Bank totals $11.6 million. The depreciation reserve balance has not changed. It's still at $777,860, as well as the 2015 sinking fund account, which is at $1,091,075, and that payment will be taken out. It should already have been taken out from U.S. Bank for the sinking fund payment. Joseph, would you like me to elaborate on the AKB project, or is that included in your report?
It's in my report.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, you want approval to accept this?
I'd like to seek a motion to approve the financial report as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the financial report as presented.
Got a motion, second?
Question,
Got a
since we had
question?
discussion. How much longer do we have to pay on the 215, on the bonds, Erica? 2 years?
The last payment will be made in September of 2028.
2028?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all.
All for the vote, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, unanimous. Moving on to general manager report, consider acceptance of the general manager report as presented by General Manager Johnson. I'm not sure who that guy is.
Fiscal year to date, we've added 86 new customers to a total active customer count of 15,551. Our year-over-year percent change is hovering close to that 2% benchmark. And the total billed revenue as of the end of August is $2.1 million. Moving on to meter sales, we've taken in a total of $53,205 to date, and we're roughly 25 meters back off our pace. Water sales summary, we're holding strong. Our actual versus budget is holding up nicely. The last 2 months, we have surpassed $1 million in sales, so things are looking good. Non-revenue water, nothing to really report. Obviously, you see the reduction. We're not putting as much on the ground because we performed all our fire hydrant maintenance. So this is just anything related to main breaks and service leaks. The fire hydrant maintenance summary, we completed that in July. And moving on to the projects. Our website project, Parker has really done a great job working with Hammond Marketing on getting a website draft for us to look at. We've had multiple internal meetings. We hope to have a website for you guys to play around with in the next probably 30 to 45 days. The asset management solution deployment is working really well. We're hoping to be in the testing platform in November. The sewer feasibility study, sewer utility continuation, a lot of that has been kind of on hold until we get our progressive design build guaranteed maximum price. That is coming to us in October. I will say that we have scheduled the last steering committee meeting for September 30th to get the sewer memorandum of understanding draft completed internally in the committee. It will then go to you guys to look at before we send it to the Board of Commissioners for them to look at. But remember, the Board of Commissioners, the IDA, and our board and community development have all been a part of that document. So we think when you guys see it, it's a good representation of something that we think the board will accept. The sewer implementation project, we are on track to have our guaranteed maximum price by October 1. We still have not gotten our MPS permit from the state. We have reached out to them. We're still waiting for either their comment or the permit to be provided to us. The CDBG grant application, we met with Alan Smith yesterday, and they are going to be presenting the findings of the surveys that we conducted in Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3, so Dundee, Pine Tree, and East Griffin. So they're going to present to us on October 16th at our next meeting. The water hydraulic model update, we are kicking that off tomorrow with the City of Griffin. We have satisfied the initial data request, so we look forward to seeing what they've been able to do in a short amount of time. And then the water rate study, we had the kickoff meeting with Raftellus, and they're going to give a presentation, roughly about 30 minutes in our joint and planning committee meeting. We thought we were going to have a little bit more time for them, but for some reason I forgot that we were going to be really discussing the sewer project. So I told Raftellus, you're truncated 30 minutes because we're going to spend the remaining time working through the details on the progressive design build project. As you see, we have a lot of free time.
Yeah, buddy.
Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the report, accept it, whichever it is.
I got a motion to accept.
Second.
Everybody good with it? Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the next item.
You do need to vote.
To accept.
Yes. I made a motion.
We got a motion, we got a second, all in favor? All opposed? You happy now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to new business, consider approval of the Heron Bay PRV valve replacement project up to $100,000 as the Planning and Finance Committee recommended.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve as we recommended.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Unanimous. Consider approval of the SDS Water Service Area Map Revision and authorize the general manager to send it to the Board of Commissioners for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve as recommended.
I got a motion. Do I have a second? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jeff. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Moving on to other.
October 16th.
Other business, the next regular scheduled meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. in the Courthouse Annex Meeting Room. Moving on to Secretary Treasurer comments,
None.
General Manager comments,
None.
Authority Member comments, starting with Mr.
None.
Nunn.
None.
None here.
None.
None here.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil the party then.
Thank you.
Bear with me, I'm having some spinal problems, I can't focus for some reason.
Executive session. Mr. Chairman, I move that we move into executive session for the items as specified on the agenda.
Second.
What do we have?
I think this is.
I got a motion and a second. Can't read for some reason. Everyone in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, executive session.
You okay?
I can't focus, my eyes won't focus for some reason.
not a good sign.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why don't you sit back down?
Let's head to executive session, I'll sit down there.
It's called a stroke.
Yeah.
Good, I'm good. How about you?
You got your boot off, Stephanie.
Everybody wants to talk about, taxes.
Get beat down.
excited? Are you sweet? That giraffe ever stinkingly. First one, she just shoved it all the way in its mouth. Giraffe at her hand, halfway down its mouth. She jerked it back real quick, because I think the giraffe was going to pop over its teeth. She's like, oh. They wanted to feed the kangaroo, but no, it's like
Y'all just been hanging out in here.
I'm not even sick.